Hey folks, hope y'all are having a good day. Move my mic back a little bit too close. Here we go. Hope you guys are having a great day. Not too many people here today. People are already talking about the Wii U, one of the greatest consoles ever made, in my opinion. It's still the system that's most played at my house. And I have a Nintendo Switch and a PlayStation 4, but the Wii U gets the most use as far as a game playing device. The PS4 is used to play movies more than games. And so the Wii U ends up being really good. And the reason is because it has just a really good game library, great controllers, great backward compatibility. You can mod it to do a whole bunch of different things. Play GameCube ISOs, including, all your favorite GameCube games with even GameCube adapters. I have a GameCube controller adapter for my Wii U that works for Smash Bros, works for everything, So the Wii U was actually an amazing console that was in a lot of ways ahead of its time and didn't really take off. It had the streaming to a second screen. It had a streaming to a screen thing before anyone else had it. And the PlayStation 3 added streaming to a PlayStation Vita, which was an incredibly cool feature at the time. But you had to buy a PlayStation Vita for, I don't even remember how much they were when they came out, like $300 or something, $350. So that was a lot to add, a second screen to your PS3. But that streaming for the PlayStation Vita still works on the PlayStation 4. It's really cool. But the Wii U was basically the first one to do it. It was absolutely a great system, and in my opinion, one that should have won out more. So, what's a modded Wii U? The Nintendo Wii U, except you are going to just run a couple of different software mods so that you can run unsigned software, run emulators, be able to have GameCube compatibility, which is actually, it's weird because the GameCube compatibility is there, but I don't think the drive actually reads the discs. So you have to do some workarounds to get it there, and you can read the ISOs off of an external hard drive, or even like a USB stick, or on an SD card. So it has an SD card slot. So anyway, let's have a little fun. Let's talk about what console won the console war. I might do a separate video on this, but we're at the beginning of, I guess this is Gen 9. What we're looking at here. So that's going to be PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S. And then I don't know. Do you guys think the Switch counts? I don't know if the Switch counts as a Gen 9 or if that's still Gen 8, or even what the Wii U should be, because the Nintendo systems now aren't lining up with the, everybody else is running into to basically produce really similar machines that run mostly the same software in different platform environments. The Xbox platform versus the PlayStation platform. And that's kind of what you're buying into now, is more or less a really similar machine, very similar capabilities. I think the Xbox Series X, on paper at least, is like a little bit stronger this go around than the PlayStation 5, but probably not in a super appreciable way. Same way the PlayStation 4 was technically more powerful than the Xbox One, but not in a really appreciable sort of way. So anyway, let's look at the consoles from that generation, just while people fill in here. For this discussion, I'm going to discard PC. The reason is PC wins every single category no matter what. PC is the best if you're looking for, everything, right? It has the best backward compatibility of any platform. I can run DOS games from the 80s on my PC. I can run DOS games from the 90s on my PC. I can even put in the original Warcraft Orcs and Humans CD and use it on a modern PC. That's really insane to stop and think about. So the backwards compatibility, it wins that hands down. Emulation wins that hands down. All the emulators are originally designed for PC, and then you kind of adapt them for things like Wii U. Software library in general. The biggest software library is going to be on the PC because you have all the multi-platform releases. Even if they may start on console, they eventually come to PC to try to capture more of that market. Plus, you have way more indie titles on the PC because it's easier to publish through Steam and things like that. And you have MMOs, so you can't play World of Warcraft on your PlayStation 5 because it doesn't work. You need a keyboard to play World of Warcraft or a lot of these other kinds of MMOs. They're PC only. They're not console experiences. Yes, you can play Elder Scrolls Online and Final Fantasy XIV on a console. That's actually pretty cool. But you have way more availability for MMO type games. You could still play original EverQuest and EverQuest 2 on your PC. So as far as size of game library, PC wins. Quality of game library, PC wins. Backwards compatibility, PC wins. Graphical capabilities, PC wins. PC is going to win every category. The only category the PC is not going to win is, in fact, you could debate exclusives, because if you look at PC exclusives, it's going to be stuff like World of Warcraft. That could be a system seller for as far as people buying a gaming PC. They like that game so much. Or, EverQuest or something like that, right? So even in terms of exclusivity, the PC wins kind of default. Not that it's like Microsoft's going out and trying to capture Windows PC games and get people to develop for them and have them exclusively on their platform. Rather, the platform makes only certain games really are only going to work on the PC platform. Now, I view console gaming as something a little bit different than PC gaming. Console gaming, you're kind of you're more relaxed on the couch. PC gaming, you're kind of up, intense, and it's a more intense experience, I think. So looking at those two things, if you were going to throw a PC into the mix, it's going to win every category without any effort. So PC is the clear winner. So we'll put PC to the side because that's such a clear winner that we don't even really need to talk about it. The only downside to PC is that to play on your TV, well, there's two downsides. Usually you're not playing on your TV, which means you're not enjoying that relaxed console experience, but you can do that. You can set up a PC in your living room and have wireless controllers. Your wireless Xbox controllers work with it, or even you could use PS4 controllers with it. Doesn't matter. But it requires more effort to get into the personal computer space. If you want to be cost effective, you're probably going to have to build your own computer. If you buy one from somebody, it's going to be missing some of the hardware qualities that you are really going to want. And so for a lot of people, building a system is something that's way beyond their reach or their desire. They don't want to go shopping for motherboards and processors and video cards and coolers and cases and all this stuff and put it all together. I enjoy doing stuff like that, but your average person's not going to want to do that. Plus, you're always having to do finicky stuff with like video card drivers. Things are not optimized as well for PC, which means you need a more powerful PC really to get the same results that you might get with a console. I think if you're going to look at a console, probably the best time to play one is like right when they come out, because that's when their graphical fidelity is the most comparable to PC. And after that, it's the personal computer just ends up kind of blowing past it. So the PC wins for basically, I'm running like 3 monitors, PC is the winner. So if we just put that to the side, the biggest loser in the console space, last Gen 8, is the Ouya. Do you guys remember the Ouya? Let me see if I can look it up for you. The Ouya? No, I'm trying to remember what it was. Ouya console. When did this come out? This one was pretty early. It came out in 2012, basically about at the same time as the other stuff. Let me see if I can find some pictures here. This was actually a concept that I think was way ahead of its time, but ultimately was a piece of garbage. Here, let me pull this up over here. Get this over here, right here. I have to do all kinds of stuff here. Here it is. The Ouya. So the Ouya is at the bottom. You guys remember it? I don't know if anybody here actually remembers it. So here's the Ouya. This thing was basically, it's an Android device that you plugged into your TV and then could run Android games with it. The problem was in 2012, there weren't very many Android games that were going to make a big use of your... Also, the controller was garbage. If you ever held the controller, it was terrible. It was underpowered. There was no system seller games. But it was cheap. It was like $100 for this. But I think you could actually come out with this now and it would actually be a cool thing. It'd just be a standalone Android device that you plug into your TV, and you can use an Xbox One controller or like, an Xbox. So you just use an Xbox controller with it. And you could play all of the Android games that support gamepad, which is actually a lot of them. I know all the Final Fantasy games support them, or all the ones that I've tried do. So you could play Final Fantasy IX on your Ouya or your Android device. So I think this was actually way ahead of its time, but it was the big loser in that even when it came out, it was like underpowered. It didn't run anything. The controller was terrible. It was a home console powered basically by mobile architecture that wasn't really good enough to be cost effective at the time. It was just really wasn't very good at all. Zero Horizon only just got a PC release. Yeah, if you're wanting to get stuff kind of on time, you're probably going to get it on the console. So yeah, the Ouya. This thing was, I had friends that bought they kickstarted it. I had friends that bought it. They were like, man, I'm so excited for this console. And they really didn't sell what it was really about. They should have done, rather than trying to find it, they're like, well, we have to sell it with exclusives. They could have sold it as like, it's an Android for your TV, and we'll run all Android games, and we're going to have a couple of gamepad enabled games enabled for it. In 2020, like a lot of games support gamepad, so this would actually be a better idea. And in fact, you can duplicate this. This thing basically exists with like the Amazon Fire Cube TV or like the Chromecast or something like that. Basically, this has been replaced by things like that. You could run emulators on a Chromecast. You could run... or like a Fire Stick TV or like a Fire TV. You could run emulators on that. You can run Android games on it if you know how to unlock it. You have to do a little work, but you could just sell a standalone device like that now and it would actually be pretty good. Plus you have all of these streaming services. You have the Xbox Game Pass thing. You have Stadia, which I know people don't use, and Amazon has one called Luna, which I got like invited to the beta of it, but I didn't do it because I'm like, the problem with streaming remotely, like having a game played on a remote server and streamed to your device, the problem with that is that whenever there's a lag spike, your game breaks and you die, So you can't play any game that a spike in lag would kill you, which is like most games. So you could play, I don't know, a strategy game or something. You could play a Fire Emblem game, but you couldn't play Street Fighter or something, obviously, because a lag spike would just mean that you lose. And there's always going to be lag spikes. It doesn't matter how great your infrastructure is. At least at this point, there's always going to be some lag spikes. So that makes it unusable to me. Just not a very good idea. I get the idea. It's like get people to play wherever without having to have a bunch of hardware expense in their pocket or at their TV. But it just doesn't make for a good gaming experience. So that was the big loser, was the Ouya. After that, I don't know what's next. In terms of, well, I put the Xbox One, the original Xbox One. That was the biggest loser, I think, from the last generation, was the Xbox One, especially the original one. So the original one launched with a Kinect, which increased the price of it by like $100. So it's like you could buy a PlayStation 4 for like $400, or you could buy an Xbox One for $500. I don't remember the exact price. It might have been like $399 and $499. Anyway, so you had to buy this Xbox One with this Kinect, and everyone was like, I don't even want a Kinect. I don't want to operate this machine with a Kinect. I don't like the Kinect's camera pointing at my face all the time. I don't like using the Kinect. I don't want the Kinect to be there. The Xbox One, the original Xbox One at least, also had the entire thing they designed it around was like watching TV. So there was an HDMI in and an HDMI out. It's like, oh, you hook your cable box up to this and it could be a DVR or blah, 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 blah. And gamers were like, we want a console that plays games. I have a DVR baked into my cable box if I want that. Everybody was trying to get away from cable anyway. And it's like the Xbox One was looking for problems to solve that weren't there. It's like you got this cool experience with a Kinect, and you can, it'll be this centerpiece of your entertainment thing. It'll play Blu-rays, and you can watch your cable news, and nobody wanted it for that. Like, I want to put a game in and play it. And they look at the PlayStation 4. It's like, I want to put a game in and play it. The last thing that really killed the Xbox One was they were basically going to make it so there were no used games. So once you put in a disc, it like got registered to your console, and you couldn't give that to someone else, right? They were trying to do all digital DRM games in 2014, which at that time was, people were very, very cued into DRM problems on the PC. You'd had a couple years of like game-breaking DRM, especially from Ubisoft. And so that was it. It's like the Xbox One had all these things. You can't buy used games. You can't give your games to your friends. And I remember this one of their conferences with PlayStation, like, here's how you loan a game to a friend. You hand them the game. Thank you. And like they're like, thank you. And they like bow, and that's how you loan a friend your game on the PlayStation 4. You hand him the game. And that's how it works. So you had all those things negative going for the Xbox One. Also, having the Kinect enabled used up system resources, which made the Xbox One, which was actually not as technically powerful as the PS4, though it was close, even worse, because you had like this headroom that was just taken up with Kinect stuff. Until they eventually disabled that. They came out with a version that didn't come with Kinect, trying to catch up in the console war. And that ended up being, I'd say, the biggest loser besides the Ouya, which was just a concept that was 7-8 years ahead of its time and just not very good for what it was. Next on the list. Now, it's hard for me to decide like what is above that. I'd probably say like the PS4 Pro. Now, the PS4 Pro is technically better than the PS4, but like on a technical cheat-wise, it's a more powerful machine. But it wasn't like a huge step up in power. It didn't have a unique game library, so there was no reason to buy it. Things that were enhanced for the PS4 Pro didn't even really look that much better on the PS4 Pro in most cases for most players. It was an upgrade, and if you hadn't bought a PS4 ahead of time, you could buy the PS4 Pro. If you absolutely wanted to have slightly better graphics and was worth it for you, you could get a PS4 Pro. But it just wasn't like a big upgrade compared to the original PS4. And it wasn't like required to do the PSVR. It helped with that. So it was like, you want a little bit more powerful machine to make these other things better. Okay, get the PS4. I guess above that would be the Xbox One X, right? Now, Microsoft made their mid-generation upgrade way better. Like it was a really good console. Then they also came out with Xbox Game Pass at that time. And so I'm kind of lumping those together. And that ended up being a really good deal for a lot of people. They could get full featured games, play them. So for people that were wanting to buy a console, you could buy an Xbox One X and an Xbox Game, the Xbox Game Pass thing, and basically have a huge game library. Just never really run out of games to play. The graphic fidelity on it was really good. They got rid of the whole HDMI in and out thing. They just made it a more refined console, and it ended up being a better experience. At the same time, Microsoft also enabled being able to play Xbox games on your PC. They kind of brought those two environments together around that time. So the Xbox One X, I think, was a good one. Now, I mean, technically, I should include these into different things. It wasn't enough to make Microsoft suddenly surge up and win the console war or something, but it was actually a really good idea. It was what they should have come out with to begin with, was the Xbox One X. So that's one of those things. And the thing about the Xbox One is that it actually had really good backwards compatibility, but not universal backward compatibility. So it wins the backwards compatibility wars. It plays Xbox One games and a lot of Xbox 360 games, and I think it even plays some original Xbox games through emulation, at least a lot of the popular ones. The new one, the Xbox Series X, has a huge amount of backwards compatibility. Basically plays a big portion of the entire Xbox library so far. So if you've never bought an Xbox before and you're looking to just play a bunch of games that maybe existed on the Xbox in the past, the new one is probably a really good choice if you can find one. Because kind of like the Xbox or kind of like the PS5, people are having trouble finding it. So anyway, that's probably the next one. I'd say above that, notice I haven't mentioned any Nintendo consoles yet. I'd say above that is the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch is a really good platform. It's really good at what it does. But it's kind of awkward in a bunch of ways. So I would say it wins because it's portable. You can pick up your Nintendo Switch and go play it somewhere else, right? If my son wants to play it on a long car drive, he could play video games for some of that long car drive with the Nintendo Switch. Not just mobile games like with the Nintendo 3DS or the DS line or even the PlayStation Vita. Not just mobile games, but like mainline games that are normally played on the home console can be played on a Nintendo Switch. And there's been a huge amount of ports. You can play Skyrim on the plane. That's really cool. It's not as good as a console, and it's really, another console, and it's really bad compared to PC, but it's playable, and I actually have it, believe it or not. I'm one of those rubes that buys Skyrim on multiple platforms, but I only own it on the PC and the Switch, and that was to play it mobile, play it on a plane. Plus, you have a really great first-party support on the Switch. Of course, the Nintendo games are the best. Now, the reason that the Nintendo Switch is not higher is because most of the system seller games, most of the first-party games, are actually from the Nintendo Wii U. So that's the next one on the list is the Nintendo Wii U. But I'll finish talking about the Nintendo Switch. The Joy-Cons were a great idea. They're a great solution. What the Nintendo Switch ultimately boils down to is it's a tablet, like an Android tablet. It doesn't run Android. It runs its own thing. But we need controllers to attach, so they came up with this solution. The Joy-Cons honestly suck, though. They break. You get Joy-Con drift on them really bad. The stick drift. I have 2 sets of Joy-Cons, and they both have significant drift on both things. I still have to send them in to get repaired. But I hadn't sent them in to get repaired because my son always wants to play it in the car, and we can't do it without the pair of Joy-Cons. So I'll probably do that pretty soon. They didn't work well. The Pro controller was really good. One of my favorite controllers, actually. It feels solid, great button spacing, just a great controller all around was that Pro controller. But the reason I probably wouldn't put it higher is that it's actually pretty, I don't know what the right word is. It's pretty weak as far as hardware goes. It's very good for a mobile device as far as hardware goes. But it's not that good, right? And it's good for the price for mobile hardware, but it's not that good. And the truth is that people are putting it on the Switch, putting games on the Switch, not because it's got great capabilities, but because it has a great installed user base. That's why you're getting the good games. And it's not because the Switch itself is very good. It uses kind of off the shelf parts. It's a good mobile platform, but as far as a home console goes, it leaves a lot to be desired. It tends to not run at very high resolution, sometimes 1080p. You can use an external upscaler like the M Classic, which I use and I think which is good, and I actually would recommend it for using it with the Nintendo Switch to get a little bit better fidelity, a little bit sharper images and things. But that's why it's not higher. And as a mobile device, I don't even really call it like a handheld because it's like the size of an Atari Lynx, which, if you need a purse or a backpack to carry it, it's just not as much of a handheld to me as like a DS, which I've had DSs in my pockets for at this point 20 years, or Game Boys in my pockets for over 20 years. So I'm used to a pocket-sized handheld, but people already have their phones, so Nintendo was probably wise and we'll size it up. It'll have a bigger screen. Yeah, people got to carry it in their bags, but they're going to carry their bag on the plane. It's not a big deal. It's not so big you can't carry it around. It really is a great platform. I do like the Nintendo Switch a lot, and it has a great library of games for it, both first-party and third-party games that run out for it. I have heard people are talking about the Switch Pro. I've heard rumors of that. I believe Nintendo will come out with the Switch Pro. I don't know when they will come out with it, but I know that they will. I think Switch as a home console is a 7 out of 10. I think it's good. I think it's a good home console, but it's still not as good as the PlayStation 4, which came out years before it, which I'm actually you'll see where I'm going to put that one. So yeah, the Switch it's a really good platform, but it's a compromise of a lot of different things. And so it's not going to be the best at any one particular thing. And Nintendo was probably wise to make those compromises because they've sold really well. People don't need another phone-sized device. It's like, I already have a phone, I don't need another phone in my pocket. And so just went with something a little bigger, a little more robust. I just wish the Joy-Cons were better. So above that, and I go maybe number 2 slot here is going to be the Wii U. The Wii U was extremely underappreciated. The Wii U has fantastic backwards compatibility. It has full backwards compatibility with the entirety of the Wii catalog, which means you could put your Wii in the closet or something if you get it. It does a great job upscaling Wii games into HD. I know because I've done that. It has full compatibility with the controllers for the Wii, the motion controllers, but its main control scheme is that control pad. And that control pad was way ahead of its time because you could stream a game to that pad and have your family, like if your family was watching a movie and you wanted to play a game. And I used to do this back when we got a Wii U. My wife really wanted one, actually. She was the one who really wanted one because she really likes Nintendo's first party games. They're really good. So I would play a game and she could watch a TV show, and that was really cool. And there wasn't anything else doing it like when it came out. And I bought it years after it came out. But it turned out to be the best. Most of the Switch's catalog of games was available for the Wii U, and in most cases, the Wii U experience is the superior experience. The main exception I can think of is probably Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is really a Wii U game that was ported to the Switch, but they didn't make full use of the gamepad. Whereas the other Zelda games that they put on the Wii U, the Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, are the best versions of those games that you can play. The best versions. They are great. And they use you can look at the map on the second screen. There was a whole bunch of very original games. Some of them were bad because of their originality, like Star Fox Zero, which I have, where you're having to like look at the gamepad and the screen and it's just a weird experience. But it's really cool to play a Zelda game and be like, I want my arrows, and just reach down and press your arrows. It's just it was such a good gaming experience and was such an original approach. And it was, for Nintendo, it was more like back to basics with a variation. So we go back to basics, we have a controller. And I think the Wii U gamepad is one of my favorite controllers to hold. It's big, it's beefy, my thumbs fit in all the right places. I can rest it on my lap and not feel like I have to hold it up. I don't feel like a T-Rex, like trying to hold it like this. And if you're a big person, and I'm not like obese, but I'm physically large, I have large shoulders and arms, controllers start to feel kind of small after a while. So the Wii U gamepad feels really good. It's my son's favorite one to play. It's the one that still gets the most use. And if you have a Wii U now, you can buy almost all of the best Switch games at a reduced price on the Wii U, like $20 for the Wii U version. One of the ones I think of is actually Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors had a 2-player mode where one person could play on the TV and one person could play on a gamepad for couch co-op. Can't really do that on the Switch. It was pretty amazing. That was like really cool that they did that. Yeah, more games could have made better use of the gamepad, but wow, what a cool system. When you mod the Wii U, it gets even better because it runs a whole bunch of emulators. It has an SD card reader built in, just like the PlayStation 3 did. And so that means you can put in all your classic games and play them on your modded Wii U. You can mod it so it'll run GameCube games, which you can load on a external hard drive or a flash drive and plug into the back. It has USB support. It supports GameCube controllers with a USB peripheral. So you can just play all your GameCube games on it too. So if you're thinking about like, what's my upscaling solution for GameCube games? If you're willing to rip the GameCube games and play the ISOs, you can use a Wii U for that, and it's a really good way to do it. So in general, I think the Wii U was way underappreciated and was awesome. It had external hard drive support right out of the box, which At the time, consoles didn't really have all that. It's one of the last consoles to play the game from the disc, which means you didn't need a ton of hard drive space anyway. It didn't install like a 50 gig game where the disc was just like checking to see that you own the game. No, it actually played games from the disc. So in that way, it's one of the last truly physical medium consoles. Now, this one came out before all the others. It came out at the end of 2012, I think. So some people are like, well, this is really Gen 7. That's like PS3 stuff. But the Wii really came out at the same time as the PS3, and I think the Wii U, it was not a mid-generation upgrade. It's a new system. So I really count it as the first of that last generation. And as far as the game library, the way that you played, controllers, everything about it was just the best. And because of the high quality game library, it gets the most use of any of my platforms. And if a game was available on like PlayStation or Wii U, my son would want the Wii U version because he liked to physically hold the Wii U better. He had smaller hands, and that big tablet thing worked for him because he could put it on his lap and not feel like he had to hold it up and somehow manipulate triggers. He could just put it on his lap and use his little hands on the whole thing. It worked perfectly for him. So, and number 1 is going to be PlayStation 4. Yeah, Pod Racer 2 would be really fun. Pod Racer was a great game. It's just actually, by the way, it's not called Pod Racer. It's just called, I think it's just called Star Wars Racer or Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. But we all called it Pod Racer. Yeah. Star Fox 0 is not a memory I cherish. I have it. I've played it. It's unique. Unique is not always good. Zombie U is actually pretty good, by the way. You have some games that you still don't have available elsewhere. You have Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's a Wii U game. Wii U exclusive. And that's a cool one. That's one that maybe I'll stream it sometime. In fact, I'll bring the Wii U in and I'll stream it. As soon as I feel like my son is not going to be upset that the Wii U is in a different room. All right, so PlayStation 4 is the winner of the last console generation for basically hitting everything. Now, it loses in terms of backwards compatibility because you can't just like put in your PS2 games and play them. When this came out, I remember thinking that was actually not a big deal because you have a PlayStation 3. So if you had the PlayStation 3, that had, I shouldn't say that. The launch PlayStation 3 could play everything, and I have one of those. So you could play every prior PlayStation game on the PlayStation 3. So it loses the backwards compatibility thing. But really, I think people were not looking to buy a console and then play PlayStation 3 games on it. I think the past library was not a big seller the way it was in the past, and Sony made the right decision in keeping the console relatively cheap and straightforward and just making the best console they could for the price. The PlayStation 4 was more powerful at launch and remains able to play its entire catalog reasonably well. The PS4 Pro didn't really alter that landscape. So you've had 6 years now of highly compatible games that run really good on the PlayStation 4. Now, a lot of those games are 30 FPS experience, which people wanted 60 FPS, and yeah, but the Xbox One wasn't really doing better anyway. So that was just this generation. It was more fidelity, but still 30 frames per second. I felt like the PlayStation 4 exclusives and timed exclusives were way better than the Xbox side and were probably the reason that you wanted a PlayStation 4. You had games like Horizon, you had a lot of From Software games, you had Sekiro, you had Neo, you had The Last of Us Part 2, if that's the game that you like. God of War, you got a ton of first-party and third-party, second-party games that came out for the PlayStation 4, either exclusive or timed exclusive, meaning when you want to play it when it's relevant, like Final Fantasy VII Remake. All of those were really good. Like, they had a ton of great games, and I felt like there were plenty of games mixed in there that were not good, but as time went on, they were selling like their back catalog of PS2 games on the store. Their digital storefront grew so much. The PlayStation Network improved as far as online play goes that it really ended up being the best platform in general. And it was honestly not a bad price, and you could always get a PlayStation 4 console on Craigslist for cheap with a bunch of games. They were easy to resell, easy to buy. The controller was also the best. So I didn't talk about controllers that much with Xbox One. Xbox One controller is great, but it's really just Xbox 360 controller, but like white originally. I have one in the other room. I like it a lot, but I think I like the Xbox 360 controller better. It's a little bit bigger, and I like the rubbery sticks a little bit better. I like the D-pad on the Xbox One controller better. But anyway, the PlayStation 4 had a great D-pad. The sticks were really good. Yeah, the rubber wore off on one of mine a little bit, but that's from like a lot of use. So I don't even know if that's a downside. There was the touchpad, which didn't really get much use. Unfortunately, that was a cool feature that developers were like, I don't really want to use this. But the controller felt the best in the hands to me of pretty much any console controller. I'd still say the Xbox 360 might, for regular stuff, be a little bit ahead. But when you include 2D games and how bad this D-pad was on the Xbox 360, I think the PlayStation 4 is a way superior controller. It's a great controller. Battery life was a little bit short, and that's my only complaint with it. But I could always plug it in and use it. At the time, I had some long cables. So I think PS4 was the winner. So that's my ranking. Was Ouya at the bottom. Really good concept. 8 years maybe too soon. And I think if they did it now, if you did something similar now and it didn't have a complete garbage controller, you could do really, really well with it. Either as a thing that was like an emulator box that runs all your Android games or something else like that. There's a ton of Android games that support gamepad. Unfortunately, the problem with Android is that like as they update the OS, the compatibility of the games gets kind of iffy. It's not as good as PC. But if you include PC's of course going to be so, A tier PlayStation 4, S tier PC, right? Okay, let's take some more looks at the chats here, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I'm gonna play some Morrowind, unless you guys want to play, unless you want to play World of Warcraft. So new World of Warcraft expansion is launching on Monday. There's like an undead event. You can get a bunch of epics for free, which I'm sure will just get replaced by blues and greens when you're leveling, but. Oh yeah, the light on the back for the PS4. If you turn down the brightness of the light, the controller actually lasts longer. I figured that out. I turned it way down. I thought the light was cool. When we first opened it up, me and my brother-in-law were like playing with it. We played a game and like the colors changed, like yours is purple and mine is orange. We're like played Diablo 3. This reminds me. So the best couch co-op experiences were on the PlayStation 4. Not even the Switch, but there's good ones. But the co-op games were on the PS4, kind of ignored, but they were really good. It supported 4 controllers at least, and I did 4-player Diablo 3. Me and 3 of my friends, and we had 3 PlayStation controllers, and I had a PlayStation Vita that I used as a controller. So we had 4 controllers. We played through Diablo 3. Diablo 3 turned out to be an amazing couch co-op experience. I did not expect that. There's a Gauntlet game you can play that's a great couch co-op experience. It's not as good as Diablo. It's just kind of like a harder Diablo. I don't know. It's good. There's an Overlord co-op game that I don't recommend because it runs terribly on the PS4, but you could play it. There's a bunch of little co-op games that you could play on the PS4. A bunch of indie co-op games. Bunch of indie competitive games. It just was a great multiplayer platform. I couldn't believe how fun it was to play Diablo 3 with like 4 people on the couch and how that was. I had to negotiate. No, we're supposed to go this way. It was a lot of fun. Why do video games like Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy have characters who wield swords bigger than what's physically impossible? It looks cool. That's the short answer. It looks cool. It's just aesthetically cool to look at. It's just a cool thing to see a giant freaking sword like flying around. Now, as far as Japanese stuff goes, like Final Fantasy VII, the Buster Sword, that's not a realistic sword back there, guys. Okay, this thing is not realistic. If this was actually made of steel, you wouldn't be able to hold this thing, right? This thing would be, if it was steel, like 50 pounds, and it's not even that long. Like this is pretty short. Right. Real one would be like that long. So, I mean, 50 pounds of steel to hold it at arm's length would like be really hard. There's a guy called Michael Cthulhu on YouTube that makes these swords like out of steel. He'll weld them together and makes Buster swords and like the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. And he's like, I tried to use this. I had to go get a pro bodybuilder to try to use this. So you see this like pro bodybuilder coming up and like trying to wield it. And the best he could do was to raise it up and kind of let it fall down, because it's so hard to hold this sort of thing at arm's length. You guys don't realize that even a two-handed sword from, the medieval period, really only a couple pounds. They're quite light because the sword is not made to be like a bashing weapon. It's made to be a nimble weapon. So yeah, they look cool, but it really, I think, comes back to a lot of the anime and manga stuff. Berserk certainly influenced a lot of people with its gigantic freaking swords that looked really cool that people wanted to copy. So that's why it looks cool. The Monster Hunter swords also have teeth all over them. You see it in World of Warcraft too. Like the swords are completely ridiculous and unusable. And that's kind of built up over time. If you played classic WoW, when you were first playing, all the swords were really realistic looking. And they only got crazy when you started to get up into raids at the higher level, where you had swords that were really implausible and started to look ridiculous. But most of the swords that you had leveling up looked like they could be real swords. And that was pretty cool, actually. Now, though, everything has to be completely crazy looking in order to be like an epic weapon. And so you don't want to get a new epic weapon that's like, look at this new epic weapon I got, and it looks like a regular Highland Claymore. People will be like, where's the sword? I can't even see it on the screen. It's like I'm holding it. Oh, that's a toothpick. Well, no, it's a two-handed sword. It's realistic. It's like, well, look at my Armageddon, or look at my Grand Marshal's Claymore, The Grand Marshal's Claymore was such a gigantic, ridiculous sword. That started to be like the cool thing. Gunblades are cool, and gunblades are real, by the way. There are gun swords. These are historically a thing. Thank you for the super chat. Has been, is now 89. I appreciate it. So that's why swords are cool. And that's also why I like a lot of the stuff from Elder Scrolls, is that it kind of treads that line where it's like, this is very fantastical fantasy stuff, but it's not completely implausible. You're not walking around with big shoulder pads that have like steel skulls on them, like from Warhammer or something. Like Warhammer armor, Warhammer fantasy armor, as well as Warhammer 40k armor. It's just ridiculous. But that's what makes it cool to me. That's what makes it fun. And I do appreciate Elder Scrolls. Most of the armor looks pretty much like plausible armor for the most part. Episode 1 Racer was so hard on Nintendo 64, then I beat it in a few hours on Steam last year. Yeah. I think we were just bad players back then. I think that's what it was. Any plans to pick back up with Witcher 3? Yes, either that or I've been playing Morrowind, so I'm just kind of... Morrowind is more of an escape to me. Yeah, Morrowind is really more of an escape than The Witcher. The Witcher is not like a world that I think of escaping to. It's more like... It's too grimdark. Not a big escape for me. Diablo 3 is the game I buy on every console. I almost bought it on Nintendo Switch too, because I'm like, I could really use some mobile Diablo 3. Could really use it. Another thing with the PS4 is that its PS Vita remote play integration was awesome and worked really good. Surprisingly good. I could actually be at my mom's house, open up my PS Vita and connect to her internet, have it turn on my PlayStation 4 in Northern California here in Modesto, and stream Final Fantasy to it, or Dragon Quest, whatever game I had in there, and play it. Like, I don't think the PS5 supports that. It might add it onto the phone. It would be very cool if they added it onto the phone. I don't know if they have it on that yet, but man, it was cool to have it on the Vita. It was such a cool little device to do that for. Do you believe Sidney Powell will release the Kraken like she says, and are you familiar with her life history and track record? I have no idea. I haven't been paying that much attention. I'm just going to let things happen as they happen. What's your favorite ridiculous fantasy sword weapon? Good question. I think I really like the Dragon Slayer, obviously, from Berserk. I think that's my favorite. It's very iconic. It's been copied a lot. So that's probably my favorite. And in fact, like the best sword in classic WoW, the Grand Marshal's Claymore, it's not the best, but, you know, it's basically a shiny version of the Dragon Slayer. That's what's cool. That's what's cool about it. So I like it. It's just, you know, it's like a big heaping hunk of iron that can smash and crash. You know? I like Conan's sword from the original Conan movie as well. You can see the enthusiasm for 40K in all the fan videos, especially Astartes. Yeah. Fans really love 40K, and I think the aesthetics have a lot to do with it. And that's what makes them cool. Yeah, the armor's ridiculous. That's what makes it cool. That's what makes it fun. That's cool power armor. You know? Anyway, let's start with some Morrowind, unless you guys want to do WoW or something. There is a cool event in WoW right now, so if you're playing WoW, you can grab some gear, some recolors of Wrath of the Lich King gear for the most part, and so you can check that out. Here we go. I haven't played this, I think, since last time. Yeah, the original Battlefront Front 2 was awesome. Like that's one that it's like they should just remaster that one and come out with that one. That one was such a good game. I have such good fond memories playing that game. Let's see where I'm at here.
You have my attention.
So yeah, if you can get a Wii U cheap, I think it's definitely a console worth having because you have the whole Wii library. You don't have to worry about like low-res Wii stuff. It just works really good. Okay, we're going to go to the mine, I think. Let me see what's in my bags. It might be like prudent to clear my bags out a bit. Yeah, because I have a lot of this stuff here. So, yeah, let me go clear out the bags, and then we'll go to the little Kwama egg mine, and then go from there. I can probably sell the armor here. Yeah, it comes out on Monday, I think. I don't know what character I should play. In fact, I should do a poll. Like I have like 5 or 6 level 50s or something. I have my priest, which I was leaning towards priest, but I played my hunter a little bit. And I was like, man, I really miss playing my hunter. That was my classic WoW, my original character that I rated on 15 years ago now. My rogue. Rogue is just super fun to play. And then I have a paladin. Paladin, you could play any role. And then I have I leveled up a shaman just to see how quick the leveling was. I got it to like level 50 and like, I don't know, really not a lot of time. And it was fun to level, but I don't think I'll play it. I don't think I really like shaman very much. So I don't know. Priest, kind of priest or hunter or rogue, I think. Or those are the 3. I'm not feeling paladin right now. It's okay though. I like paladin. Barter. So I don't know. What do you guys think I should play? Don't buy that item. What do you buy? You buy any of this other stuff? I don't know. find a different vendor. I'm sticking with my warrior main, but as soon as I can, I'm bringing my core stable of alts through so I can start pushing up professions and begin working the auction house. Yeah, I don't know how much gold I need to have. I remember I spent like several 100,000 gold, like just on like random mounts and crap that I still don't even use because I have cooler mounts that are rarer. I don't need to pick that lock. Is there another door? Down here somewhere. Yeah, I'm still not sure if I actually... How much gold? I have like, I don't know, 400,000 gold or something. It's not like in the millions. I know some people have millions of gold. I don't have that much. Alright, good. I can sell this stuff. Okay. Well, he doesn't have enough gold, does he? Take some of this stuff back. There we go. Oh, that chess piece is worth a lot. Let's take some of the other stuff off. There we go. I don't think he has any good weapons I need, so... There we go. Took all his gold. Yeah, I mean, it's Land of the Dead, which means it could be pretty cool. Shadowlands is not... I mean, at least it's somewhat new and they're not retreading. But it's kind of retreading because it's like undead stuff. Which house you rolling with? I don't know. Which one should I do? I hadn't really considered it. Some more... There's some more shops. An outfitter. Hold on. Let's look around. Some houses. I don't remember where everything is. It's been so long. Here, there's a trader over there. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, Mists of Pandaria. Plan on getting my alchemist parked in the new hub and grinding out pots and flasks in advance of the new raid coming out. The way to make gold is to feed the mythic raiders their consumables. Yeah. The best, yeah, generally like alchemy and enchanting are going to be your best moneymakers pretty early on. Unfortunately, to get to make a lot of money on enchanting, you basically got to be playing a lot. So if you play a lot of content, enchanting is really good because you can sell a lot of those enchants. If you just want to go out and gather, then herb alchemy is definitely the way to go for sure. You say these are not Daedric weapons? No, you are right, but Ravir is no liar. When you wish it, Ravir's friend, demon, and devil weapons will be as sharp and fine as Daedric, and as light as a Netch air sack. The magic lasts a short time, but long enough to punch through the toughest armor. Ravir buys them direct from Telvanni. You will not find any cheaper in all of Balmora. Oh yeah, diamonds I can sell. Sell those diamonds. Did I get rid of the moon sugar or did I forget to pick it back up? I think I forgot to pick it back up. I don't know where my skooma and moon sugar is, guys. Might be back at the Mage Guild. Whoops. Because I think he'll buy it. Oh, he only has 600. Let's take away the diamonds. Alright. Gotta clear everybody out here. I think I can actually steal this. Yeah, you can hide right here. But that's a really high lock. But you can totally just steal this stuff right here. Yeah, all this stuff is quite stealable. Because you're hidden here. So if you need some armor, I think you can just go around this corner and steal stuff. I don't think I need this stuff. What do I have? More in the dark Brotherhood stuff. I mean, I could get this helm. And maybe get that shield there. Silver dagger's pretty good here. Iron short sword's good. I'll probably take that. I don't need these other ones. I'll just leave them there. And these glasses. All right. Ever played Pirates, Vikings, and Knights 2? No. I've not. I wish there were more games where you can be the villain. Not just an evil aligned guy that still serves the day anyway, but the actual villain of the story. Yeah, I mean, that's... like KOTOR you could be, but you don't play most of the game as the villain. You know, in KOTOR you're really not playing. Oh, I don't need this. Yeah, let's sell the short sword. 4 gold. Wow. There we go. All right. Just gotta sell other stuff too. There's other stuff I want to sell. Kwama eggs. Kind of want to hold on to most of this stuff. Oh, here we go. And sell the short history of Morrowind. We don't need to read that to you guys. And the diamonds. Okay. Now we're doing better. Alright, let's get out of here. I have a dark elf on ESO called Dr. Dress. Valendrath! Oh, don't worry about it, Jared. It's all for fun. This is all fun. Alright, let's go. Right, there we go. Pressing M for map. Ooh, I've got my games mixed up. We're going to go down the river here to the... to the Kwama mine. We got to kill a couple bad guys there, I think. Am I going the right direction? Oh, cool. I think so. Kill some Kwama eggs. Oh yeah, here's the little the council club. So you can get a key from this guy, I think. I don't see how that's any of your business, Outlander. Sweat. Nerano Manor. That's where I work. Well, I asked what your trade was. So you can bribe him to like get his approval up, and then he can give you the key, or you can provoke him to attack you, and get the key that way. I don't know which way we want to try, so I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna see if I can provoke him. Are you familiar with the singer Dan Vasc? I'm not. He's on YouTube and is an excellent rock and heavy metal singer. I'm not familiar with him. Sorry. I would. Yeah, there should be more things where, like, if you choose the evil path, you really are just straight up evil, and you're doing the evil thing. Like, I think I can. Let's see if I can provoke him. You just spam taunt at him, and then he might attack me. And then I can run outside And if you have a frenzy spell, I think that also works. So as soon as the taunt succeeds. All right, we can talk. That's succeeded. Yeah, it's failing. Oh well. Yeah, you actually have to have speechcraft to do this in Morrowind. All right, let's see if he attacks me. Not gonna work. Oh, single player games will never go away. They've been trying to include microtransactions in them. That's true, but the bribe can fail, which is funny. There we go. I think you have to get him like all the way up, though. Okay. There we go. Now let's see if he will... For a small consideration, I might tell you more. And you want the key? Here you go. All right. How much gold did I lose? Probably a lot. Let's do that again. I don't remember how to do this that well. I know this is totally cheating to like reload, but whatever. Do smaller bribes. There we go. Well, that's not working at all. Yeah, there's our RNG in this game. That's how it works. Daedric Claymore in their treasury. Yeah, you can... if you bother to explore in this game, you can find a lot of cool stuff. There's like some ebony armor you can get like right at the beginning of the game, but I don't remember how to get it. And it's really good. Like if you put it on early in the game, you're basically invincible for most of the parts of this game. Like how the bribe is just not working. I might come back later and see if I can frenzy him. Gold is precious right now. We'll do this later. Do you feel yourself slipping away from the Vox Day ride as time goes on? I think I started once O and B got in that big scene. Yeah, I mean, I felt that way for like years at this point. I mean, to me, there's nothing against Vox. It's just like his audience is different than me, right? I'm not really like a boomer normie con kind of guy. And neither his audience is not normie-cons. They're like boomer conservatives, I feel like. And that's all. It's just a different audience than me. If you have a bow, you can steal one anyway. You can cheese the guard tower near Cassius to get a Woe of Blades ebony sword. Really? If you have a bow. Interesting. I haven't done that. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, let's go. We'll play it normal here. We'll play it straight. Let's go kill the Quama eggs. If you're still in California, I pray for you. Your politicians are the worst one. With trips to French Laundry and Maui. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, but we don't... One of the things that I think people... One of the benefits of, I think, this entire thing is that people will stop having a belief that we have a functioning democracy. Which is a really important belief to discard. Like, we really don't. We haven't. So, people wake up to that, then that's a good thing. You know, regardless of what happens. Yeah, sometimes you accidentally discover you have a death warrant. Now, what is this? I don't remember what this one is. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine in California. They're going to try to create a curfew, but no one's going to enforce it. That's the reality. Oh, there's an ancestral tomb here. Yeah, you can loot this tomb. I don't know if there's anything good in there, though. Well, I don't want to explore it. Sydney Powell had a fascinating life where she quit her prosecutor job and risked everything to protect innocent defendants from corrupt prosecutors. Yeah, I appreciate lawyers that do the hard work. There's a little scrib. Level hand to hand real quick. Oh, he stunned me. Stunned. I don't think I'm hitting him at all. I think I'm gonna have to put a sword in my hand here. There we go. Dispose of corpse. It's the same in Minnesota. The governor here is trying to ban folks from socializing outside their own households. But the only way that's going to get enforced is if someone, rats and cops, bother to arrest. The cops won't do it. Not where I'm at. Like, they just won't. They got better crap to do. You know? The police have enough crap to do dealing with actual criminals to bother with people who are having Thanksgiving. They're just not going to do it. Right? And, like, no shit's going to fall on them for not doing it. So, they're just not going to do it. That's my view, anyway. Oh, wait, I forgot. I have to talk to these guys outside first. Only thing I'm really worried about is if Uncle Sniffy becomes POTUS, and if he lets his handlers make him W 2.0 and do war, and then war some more. That's exactly what he wants to do. He's already trying to gear up for it. Egg poachers, easy for them to get in and out. Could be hiding anywhere in the mine. Okay. That's exactly what it's up. Sydney Powell also self-published a book exposing corruption in the legal profession. haven't read it. Including among other political higher-ups. None have sued her because they know they'd lose. You also, like, there's more to it, though. Like, defamation lawsuits, you don't want to engage in a defamation lawsuit unless you really have to, guys. Okay? You really don't, because they will go through, basically, discovery. You know, you're going to go through everything in your life. Like, every little thing in your life is going to come out. I don't know if you guys paid attention to, like, the... who was it? Vic Mignogna case. But basically, they made him go on stage and talk about how he had sex with prostitutes. Like, they had anything to do with the defamation suit. It really didn't. But that's what you end up with the defamation suit. You don't want to sue someone for defamation unless you're wanting to go to the mattresses, like you're really wanting to do it, and you're okay with, like, having every part of your life get exposed. Let's kill these guys. Die. Oh, there's another one around here somewhere. Oh, here he is. Where are you? There you are, little twerp. Yeah, I think the bad guys are a little bit deeper in the mine here. See if anything attacks me before I'm healed. Nope. Okay. Make pistols at dawn great again. Yeah. Can you imagine an Athenian seeing what we call democracy? Yeah, and I can imagine them seeing what we call schooling, too. It's like, wait, you stick 30 12-year-olds in one room together? Men and boys and girls? Are you insane? Everyone's gonna end up angry and sick. Vic should have just shut up in court in Minecraft. Shut up the court. Should have just shot up the court in Minecraft. What? I don't understand that, but yeah, Vic got forced to get on the stand and talk about how he had sex with prostitutes and stuff, you know? You don't want to do that unless you're really going to win a defamation suit. The evidence showed that Johnny Depp was innocent of abusing Amber Heard, but the judge rules against him anyway. Depp is appealing the case because the judge had connection with defendant. Believe it. And family and divorce court, by the way, like, you can watch a movie called Divorce Inc. if you want to look into it, or just talk to a friend who's had to deal with divorce before. You know, you do not want to deal with they're basically secret inquisitorial courts. If you don't know what an inquisitorial system is, I think I leveled up. If you don't know what an inquisitorial system is, basically it's the judge is the one who does all the investigating. It's not like what you see in courtroom dramas where it's like the prosecution and the defendant, or the plaintiff and the defendant. It's just both of you show up, the judge does all the investigating, and the judge decides everything, and the judge is buddy-buddy with the lawyers. So, you know, that judge might have a very good chance of just, like, this egg miner guy's just walking around here while this person attacked me. Basically all the deals are going to be made behind closed doors. One of the reasons that you want to have a really expensive divorce lawyer is because he knows the judge, and he golfs with the judge, and he has friends with the judge. And that's how you're going to get a better deal with your divorce, is that you hire the best lawyer that knows the judges. Not that you have like some great case, or that, you know, you can show something about marital assets, you know, or your ex-wife was bad or something. You know, you're gonna do it basically by having a lawyer that knows the judge. So yeah, you know, like, you don't want to get divorced, especially if you have any assets. If you have no assets, divorce is not going to matter that much because you're poor. But as soon as you have any assets, divorce really sucks. And divorce reduces your wealth. It reduces the wealth of both parties. It's not just like a one-way thing. Like, people want to paint it like, oh, the woman's gonna, you know, take him and get alimony and all this stuff. It's like, it reduces the wealth of both parties. You have to sell the house. You know, you live in two places instead of one, so it's less efficient. Basically, everybody gets poorer. I'm gonna die here. Come on, die! Please die. Yes! Oh, something else killed me. Something else killed me. You made me reinstall Morrowind with some graphics mods. Got depressed when I had to make an account and improve my age to use Nexus mods. Modern internet is so shit. Did you hear that the US and China both want to go to the moon for mining purposes? Yeah, I've heard there might be precious metals or gems up there. I mean, who knows? Alright. My health is pretty low. Level 1. Progress towards level 8 out of 10. We're gonna get to level 2 one of these days. Oh, I think I had a couple of these little squibs attacking me. Bad guys up here. I forgot to use my spells. Comma Queen. Oh, here he is. Oh no, I hit the miner. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to reload now. I accidentally hit the miner. Hand-to-hand alchemy. All I care about is who figures out a practical commercial solution to the ground to orbit problem. Yeah, the sooner we can get off-world and spread out, the better. Yeah, like space elevators or something a little bit more efficient than light things on fire until we are out of the atmosphere. Your wounds are great. Oh, here comes this guy. How did I end up with... Oh, I didn't heal. That's why. It can be hard to level up security to start, that's true. Now you do need to dispose of corpses in this game because there's some kind of weird thing where it like loads all the corpses into memory or something and can cause problems. Probably not on a modern system now that I think about it, but did I buy a healing spell? I don't know if I did. Probably didn't. I could use that ring of healing, I guess. Of course, I fail at the spell. I like how this miner's just like walking past me as I like slaughter this dude in front of him. Yeah, this guy's kind of hard to kill here. I mean, I keep hitting him and he just keeps not dying. I can't run away either. Rest and meditate on what you've learned. If I can live, I want to live. Yeah, the problem is like I have to walk. I have to not hit these other guys. Level 30 of security with master lockpicks are pretty good. The game seems to have a bug where the probes are all the same quality. Oh, I didn't think of that. I don't remember that. Let's go right here. Just until healed. We'll get a level here, which will make things a little bit easier. If I can kill the little squibs first. See if we can aggro this guy. Wherever he is. There he is, okay. Oh, I forgot we can also use dragon skin. Oh, he's like gaining health from something. It's like chugging a pot or something. Oh, I forgot to put on like my heavier armor. That would help. Huh. Come on, die. I'm gonna die like 20 times here. I'm such a noob, I can't kill like the first Fighters Guild quest. Ah. try one more time. Greg Smith, $5. People downplay the... Thank you for the super chat. People downplay the Bronze Age collapse and try to blame global warming. Still think hordes at sea people will ruin your city more than drought. Yeah. So this is another thing about... I think a lot of people that are looking for explanations for certain things in history tend to... They tend to imagine things that are more destructive than war when war explains enough, right? Like, yeah, hordes of sea people coming in to destroy your town is... That's a singular event, but it will make it impossible for you to, like, go back to a normal cultivation of goods. And if that happens like 2 years in a row, it's kind of like Africa, right? Like, people think that people are starving in Africa because of some imagined carrying capacity thing. Oh, did I aggro this stupid worker? That's annoying. Whatever, we'll kill him. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever. Try bound a longsword here. There we go. Then I can put on a shield. A little bit better blocking. I think the two-handers don't block in this game. See, look at all the damage that sucker does, man. That's what I'm talking about. Let's take his qualm eggs. Don't need that pick. Okay. So bound sword works pretty good. It's attacking me. Oh, die. Yeah. So that bound sword doodad works pretty darn good. Always carry some bang juice. To think, I'm not remember where these. I don't think there's any reason to explore deeper. I don't know if there's any like any other treasures in here. I think it's just eggs, but like. I don't know what to do with the eggs. They're heavy and then I don't use them. I don't know why modern historians downplay war so much. It has something to do with pushing modern environmentalism. I think that's part of it. I mean, I think if you're separated from war, as we are in the modern world, where like wars happen, especially in the US, the wars happen over there, not here. You don't realize how destructive war can be. So yeah, in Africa, they're not suffering because of a carrying capacity problem, because their land is very arable, it's very farmable, and you know there's jungles where fruits just kind of grow on the trees, so it's very plentiful, rich environments. It's that there's constant war, and constant war is going to destroy your capacity to plan for the future. When you lose your capacity to plan for the future, you lose your ability to have culture, to have savings, to build things, and to just survive over time. So, yeah, people tend to underrate how powerful war can be. I've realized that things like the new Star Trek shows aren't fan fiction. To make fan fiction, you must be a fan. Yeah. People only care about pushing politics and work aren't real fans. I think it's just, you know, anything that's deconstructive or destructive of the original work is not really the workings of a fan. What's this? I'm going the wrong way. Got to turn around. I ran dungeons in this game completely jacked up. It's over in like 2 minutes. Not on level 1 though. Low levels force you to get creative with your inventory. Or am I? I'm still not. Yeah, I need to go this way. They do. I'd say the dearth of stability in various warlords throw a wrench in the works over that of particular continent. Yeah. Also, you know, if you're experiencing drought, you migrate maybe to a place where you farm differently. You know, there's places that are very dry, like the Nile River Valley, that they've figured out plenty of farming techniques because they have that source of water there. Oh, man. Something's damaging my personality. See here. Do I want to go look for the mushrooms or not is the real question. I just hate looking for mushrooms. I need to do a favor for Hasfat. Oh yeah, I gotta find the Dreamer puzzle box. Bungler's Bane. Violet Copernus, Bungler's Bane, and Hypophagia. Alright. I've already been this way, so anyway, we'll just go. We'll keep on. I've heard some horror stories from my Nigerian co-workers on the ship about living in Africa. Yeah, I've talked to I've talked to people that have lived in Nigeria, a couple different West African countries, and you know, it's just impossible to try to create a stable life. Like, I remember this, they did the Saturday Night Live joke with Bill Clinton where he's like, intercepted by warlords, and he's like stealing people's McDonald's. And it's really funny. But at the same time, it was really true. It's like, it's very, very difficult to, like, say, give humanitarian aid to people in Africa when you can't actually give it to them. I already came this way. I have to go up. Go up in here and go search for mushrooms. I have to like get a little hat to like block. It's because I had these lights on me, and it's like might need to fix that, or just kind of be in the darkness for a bit. Okay, there's the Violet Copernus, or whatever it is. Luminous Rusula. There's actually a reference to that in one of my books, if you look carefully. Where are you getting your current events from these days? Mostly Twitter. I don't watch news because it's like there's no point in watching news. Even when they tell the truth, what they said is outdated tomorrow. So you might as well get like the newest news, which is all on Twitter. You know, from either from journalists. Oh! What do we have here? Some bug monsters. Nyx hounds. Come on, die. You should rest and meditate on what you learned. Another one. Smash, smash, smash. There we go. More Violet Copernus. Hound meat. dispose of the corpse. Put the pod goggles on. Alchemy is good because I always have stamina potions that weigh almost nothing. I don't even bother with the weather forecast from the news anymore. Go straight to the source and that's enough. Just got your Muramasa book in my newest book haul. Thank you. Here it is. Got 3 other books. Not sure how much of a cut you get from a Swedish website. I think they order from another publisher, Amazon. Probably. If it's a physical copy, then I got paid for sure. Because no one has the files besides Amazon's Create Space, whatever it is now, Amazon Direct Publishing. I asked because the rightest sources I relied on, Vox, have devolved into 24/7. Any moment now, Trump is going to order 66 global homo pedo. Yeah. I think a lot of that, I mean, even Vox himself said Q is good for morale, that it's mostly a morale thing. Just like keep people thinking positively about what's going to happen. But eventually, you kind of have to like pull that off of your eyes and be like, yeah, where has the massive, removal of pedophiles been? Like, where have these things that we were promised? Where did those happen? Should level up now. Yay, level 2! You realize that all your life you've been coasting along as if you were in a dream. Suddenly, facing the trials of the last few days, you've come alive. Alright. Probably want that strength, speed, and agility. Those are important. No endurance, but it's okay. Our endurance is already pretty good. There we go. My dog is upset about something. Yeah, physical copy. I wanted the Eternal Dream book too and the Space Horror one, but they didn't have them. Yeah, sorry they don't. You should be able to get them from like Barnes and Noble or whatever your local one is. Living off the land in the wilderness is great role-playing fun as well. That's why I liked some of the versions in some of the modes in, say, like Fallout New Vegas, where you had to eat and drink all the time. Look at all these bugs. You had to eat and drink all the time. Like, this felt to me like so real when I first played it, even though it looked way worse than this. Going through and finding all this stuff. Let's see, which ones did I need? Bungler's Bane and Hypophagia I haven't found yet. It's more of those little lamp pods. Check the trees and stuff. There's Hypophagia. Alright. Just need to find Bungler's Bane. Oops. A rat. I'm so weak with my sword, it takes several hits to kill a rat with my sword, with my giant sword. It's such a worthless sword, I have to hit a rat 3 times to kill it. Instead of just stepping on it. I think Q is fake. However, I do think Trump has done way more good in his 4 years than most people realize. John C. Wright writes an excellent column cataloging Trump's wins. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done a lot of the things that would make the long-term systemic change that we need happen, though. At least not yet, or not in a way that we're totally aware of. And I still stand by the statement that a normal person, even a normal politician, would have committed suicide by now. They'd be dead by now because they would have killed themselves. Like, the media attack has been so overwhelming that no normal person could withstand it. Trump is like, at least psychologically, he has either schizoid personality disorder or he's like a superhuman. And these might actually be the same thing. You know? Schizoid personality disorder could be his superpower. Ah, we got the Bungler's Bane. Guys, we got it. We got the mushrooms. But I'm going to go look and see what's over here real quick. Where am I? Let's find out. Beautiful trees and the sunbeams. Getting the grenade launcher straight away in New Vegas. I had to grind to get that in Far Cry 5. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is the ultimate one. I may play that one sometime. I have no memory of this place. Oh my gosh. Lantern, paper lantern. It's in the crate. Any good stuff? Ooh. Some good stuff in here. Common ring. Let's check the baskets. I think the way Trump made the left go hysterical and expose itself for what it truly is inspired the right to fight back as a game changer. It could, like, regardless of what happens, that could be the thing that really, like, MAGA is just beginning to that extent, right? Like, people just kind of had to realize that they had to stop looking to normicons who conserve nothing, can't even conserve the women's bathroom. Longsword. Cure poison. I'm over encumbered. Let's use up some of this. Oh, that's heavy. Probably these eggs. I think you can mix these with the large coma eggs. The potion failed. I thought there was one where like you could mix it with the large kwama eggs and get something. Yeah, restore fatigue. And I'll kind of get rid of some of the weight here. Have any other food? So we restore fatigue. Leveling up some alchemy. Actually make a potion. Do bread and let's see if I have another food. I think I do. Fine. That should have unencumbered me. Oh, here we go. We have some like actual armor here. The armor shield in there, and I can probably get rid of this leather shield. And some armor. Overburdened again. Well, gave me some extra health there. Got me all hyped up. Why not? We'll take the eggs, and I should have just taken lots of eggs and made a bunch of potions. Would have been the smart thing. Come on. Oh, Far Cry 5 is the one where a Manson cult takes over a compound in Montana, yeah. If Trump wins his current case and the fraud is fully exposed for all to see, it might be the biggest blow to the deep state. Yeah. I mean, even if you expose it to Oh! This guy's gonna wreck me. Yeah, that guy was hitting pretty hard. Why don't we leave him alone? Oh, yeah, he like one-shot me. Oh. I think I'm going to have to go back in that room and get everything out of it again. Oh, boy. Nope, maybe not. Yep. It's okay, we'll loot this room really quick. Do this again. Take all that. Glass bottles. Take all. Take all. Take all. And we will let's do some alchemy again. We've got to repeat. Repeat, repeat. Get rid of these eggs. These quam eggs are a pain. Just mix 2 eggs together. See what else. Rat meat. Oh, this probably doesn't count. All right. I'm still over encumbered. What can I throw out here? Probably put that in there. More stuff I can make. Racer plumes. Slowed soap. I guess we'll throw something out here. Oh, the loot was different. Let's throw out the heavy shield. There we go. Now we're probably good to go. Alright, we're not going to go into that keep where the guy owned the crap out of me. Oh yeah, it's a lot like Hulse Jupiter. Bringer of Jolly. It's like almost a ripoff of it. It's extremely similar. Extremely similar. Da 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 da. Is how Holst does it. Instead of this one goes da 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 da. It just keeps going down. The Holst one goes da 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 da. You know, so it's different by like 3 notes as far as the melody goes, and the chords are basically the same too. It's just these chords that move down like in thirds, or move across in fifths. Sorry, I think I have to go look at the score again or listen to it again. That movement by thirds is a big one. All right. Now let's see here. Need to get back to Valmora, so off we go. Off we go. Yeah, it's basically a ripoff of Jupiter. I still like Jeremy Soleil's music a lot, but that particular theme is very much Gustav Holst. Something's attacking me. I think I have to be going back this way. Climbing directly over the mountains is not advised. Not till you have like some magic. You can use alchemy, there's all kinds of ways you could exploit this game. You could create potions of like fortify alchemy and then do potions of fortify acrobatics and just jump across the world. So you use a potion of fortify alchemy, and then you make a potion of fortify acrobatics, and it'll like fortify acrobatics by like 1 billion, and you can just jump across the world. More of these bungler banes. Like this sorrowful swamp. What's your favorite weapon in Morrowind? I haven't used them all and found them all, but I like Chrismere. There's an Umbra sword, Goldbrand. Goldbrand is good. I don't remember if Ebony Blade is in this one. Goldbrand's good though. Put this iron shield on. Oh, I contracted yellow tick. I'm gonna have to cure disease. I don't have a cure disease thing on here. So it drains your strength. Not good. Not good. What's my encumbrance here? I don't remember where I looked to find my encumbrance. Man, I'm going to lose a lot of strength with that. It's got to be like a cure disease potion. Like, look it up. 'Cause I don't think I have a cure disease spell. I don't want to drop everything I'm carrying. I guess I could drop that. It's not worth anything. Come here. Prepare to die. We'll kill this one here, too. Come here. Go. Never knew Morrowind had gold brand until a couple of years ago. Always finding new things in this game. Almost 20 years later. That's why I love it so much. Yeah, there's so much to it. Oh, Cliff Racer! No! No, my sword fell off. Ah, stupid. Idiot. Where's St. Giab when you need him? Cliff Racers. I mean, Goldbrand is just a straight up good weapon. You know. Go. Blade skill up. Yeah, there's so much to it. And, you know, one of the things I really can't stress enough about Morrowind as far as the depth is, like, there's always something to find. There's always some weird little thing tucked away for you to find and discover. Honestly, Skyrim is that way, but most people don't explore that much in Skyrim. Oblivion's that way too, but with this one, there's all kinds of weird stuff. And NPCs will tell you so much more in this game compared to the games where the lines are fully voice acted, because it's much cheaper and easier to just write out a long line, and you can communicate much more quickly just by writing it than having an actor read out the lines. Going back slowly to Balmora. I don't know if Skyrim has Goldbrand. Goldbrand was like one of my favorite swords in Oblivion because it was good. There was actually one that was a really good one-hander. You get it from the Shivering Isles, and it changes into a different sword during day and night, and it has, like, during nighttime it has a frost enchant, during daytime it has a fire enchant, but it's really strong if you get it at a high level, which usually you do when you do Shivering Isles. And when you switch them out, so when it switches out as the time changes, it automatically recharges all of its power. So you get free recharges without having to spend soul gems or anything like that to recharge it. So it's really cool. Do you think any video game movies have actually been good? Not really. I recently watched... Oh, you know what? The Prince of Persia one might be good, but I haven't seen it. I think people ignore it. Video games don't translate well to movies. Like, if I talk to this guy, you know... Not so close. I don't want to catch what you got. Might need to find an Imperial cult altar or a temple shrine or see a healer or apothecary and get yourself cured. Otherwise, no one is going to talk to you. Yeah, we got like yellow tick. Skyrim has a Christmas DLC? Dawnfang and Duskfang, that's it. Uh-oh, mud crab. Uh-oh. Oh, he stunned me. As these things often do. Trudging on back to Balmora. Prince of Persia movie was similar to The Mummy and Curse of the Black Pearl. Not quite as good as those two, but pretty solid. The Gemma Adderton is gorgeous in it. Remember, people were all mad that Jake Gyllenhaal was in it, and they're like, he's white. I'm like, Persians are not like black, you know. They're Eurasian people. Or Indo-European. Or Indo-Persian. Still not going the right way. Apparently. It says Balmora is that way. Where am I going? Yeah, I need to go this other way. Go north. That's the way I need to go. Alright. Here's the thing about this game is you kind of gotta realize that you don't have a compass. You have to really figure out where stuff is. Which I actually like. Most games can't really translate well into movies. It's true, because games are about gameplay. And like a really good game like this game is really about your story, not the story anyway. So, what's the story? I don't know. It's about playing the game. So of course they don't transfer back and forth very well at all. Oh, it looks like I'm running out of time on this stream, so I may have to call it. It's after 3, and I got other stuff to get going on. So, let me make it back to Balmora at least. Can you say hello to my father, Dan the man from Pakistan? He's watching with me. Thanks. Well, hello, Dan the man from Pakistan. A beautiful sky. I appreciate you guys joining me. I'm still not going the right way. I guess I'm climbing the mountain. I'll get attacked by cliff racers. Is this the way I wanted to go? Imagine fungi this big. You'd have to have like a huge source of energy for it to grow this big. It'd have to be like on the corpse of a giant. That's where it'd have to be growing. I hear the owls, but I never see them. Were the Byzantines Romans? I think so. Big meme on the AAS channel. Well, the Eastern Roman Empire was called the Eastern Roman Empire. The emperor was called the Emperor of Rome, not the Emperor of Greece or Byzantium. So they consider, but they had Greek names. So, you know, most of them were very Greek as far as ethnicity goes. But the culture was Roman. It was Roman culture, not. It wasn't Hellenistic culture or something else. I mean, late antiquity and Byzantine culture is really a different thing anyway, because cultures change. but they consider themselves Roman. Whoa. Lightning. Whoa, lightning. I'm scared. We have no problem with missing eggs since you took care of the poachers. You noticed. Yes, it's true. Get out of here. What are you trying to do? Make me sick? I love that they shun you. Resisted the magic. Yay, Breton. Get that Breton racial going. All right. Oh, I forgot to ask if my wife mailed that package. Someone wanted some signed books mailed to him. And my wife said she'd mail it for me, but I don't know if she did, so I didn't ask her. If she didn't, it's going to have to wait till like Monday. I think movies can translate into games, but I don't think it works well the other way around. Because you can always like add gameplay to a movie's story. But you can't really, like, to get a movie story out of a game, it's like you have to extract the story forcibly from it. Because you don't tell stories the same way in games that you do in movies. Alright, we're back in Balmora. Beautiful Balmora. Okay. Alright guys, I think that's probably going to be it for me today. I do appreciate everybody stopping by and hanging out with me. If anybody's playing WoW, I'm on Sargeras, so you could probably try to find me. Stucifer or Moongoats or Sturanta. Those are probably the three characters I'll be playing the most of. So Stucifer's like Lucifer but with Stu at the beginning, the old joke. And then Moongoats is one word. Alright, thanks folks. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm hoping I didn't miss any super chats. I do appreciate the super chats a lot, by the way. I don't have a free book this week. I should put out some more free books. Wrote this book that's kind of a tragedy. I think I'm going to wait to release it, and I'll focus on putting out Moonsong Book 3 pretty soon here. And then next year we'll do Eternal Dream 3, this other book I wrote. I got a lot of stuff kind of on the burner. So I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time.